All right, Accounting One, welcome to our 13-1 work together. I do just want to note for a second that it may look slightly different than yours simply because I am actually in Applia, our older version, and you guys are in MindTap because my MindTap glitched out on me when I was trying to make this video. The numbers will still be the same, so don't worry about that, and everything about the problem is the same. The only difference, of course, is that um, mine just looks different because it's an Applia. Okay, so now that we've got that covered, what we are doing is it says step one is going to analyze the payroll, step two is to journalize it. So Lakeland Company's payroll register has the following totals for their semi-monthly pay period, May 1st through the 15th of the current year, excuse me, and we're going to use the T accounts provided to analyze their May 1st through the 15th payroll. So it says that total earnings was $13,800. We have a federal income tax withheld, Social Security tax withheld, and then Medicare tax withheld. So if you remember from the lesson, our total earnings is equal to our salary expense, and salary expense is going to be debited. So we're going to debit salary expense for our total earnings, which is $13,800. And then we're going to plug in our employee income tax payable. Now, income tax payable is our federal income tax payable. Remember that a payable is going up, so we're crediting this. So we're going to put 925 here. Social Security is 855.60. That's also going to be a credit. And then we have our Medicare, which is $210. That's also going to be a credit. So remember, this is the amount that our employees earned. These three amounts are what we withheld from their paycheck. So the difference between salary expense minus 925 minus 855 minus 210, that is going to equal the amount we actually pay them and credit to cash, which if you do that on your handy dandy calculator, you should get $11,819.30. Okay, so all we're doing in this step is just analyzing, making sure that we understand that salary expense gets debited, each of our payables goes up with a credit, and then our cash, the amount we actually pay our employees, the difference between those is credited. So let's head over to our next step because our next step is going to actually ask us to journalize this in our cash payments journal. So note here that they have the 5T accounts we just did listed for us. And then it says that in our cash payments journal, we want to journalize the payment of Lakeland's May 1st to the 15th payroll on page 6 of our cash payments journal. The payroll was paid by check number 564 on May 15th of the current. So our date, of course, is going to be May 15th. Our first account title, remember, is we always list our debits first, so that's going to be salary expense. Our check number, again, they gave us was 564. And then our salary expense was our only debit. So we're going to go up here. And in case we forgot what salary expense was, it was 13,800. So that is going to go here in our general debit. That's our first one. Now, you could go over here and do your cash credit. I never do that. I always list my other credits first. So I'm going to start with, do they not want federal income? Oh, employee income tax payable. Income tax payable. And that credit is for 925. I always want to call it federal income tax payable, but I forget when we're doing this because as a business, we also will have to pay federal income taxes eventually. So that's why we call it employee income tax payable. Next up is Social Security. $855 something 60. $855.60 is our credit here. And then don't forget Medicare tax payable and 200. Now, as a reminder, the nice thing about both Mind Tap and Applia is that it will turn red if you spell something wrong or if you get something. A lot of people, especially when they do their workbooks, will forget to put the payables in here and they'll just put employee income tax. Well, that's not technically one of our account titles, so just make sure that you always have the payable on there. But Applia and Mind Tap won't let you forget it. And then, of course, our difference here is our cash credit. And so that again was that 11,819.30. So remember, back to the very beginning of accounting, our debits have to equal our credits. And so our 4 credits here do indeed equal our $13,800 debit. So all is right in the world. So far so good. Remember this again, and the reason I'm going to keep reiterating this is because it gets more complicated as we go through. But this is when we are paying our employees. Okay, payroll payment, paying our employees. So just keep that in mind as we go forward.